Blog Talk Radio.
You are now listening to the Evolution Hour with hosts Rob Gauthier and George Farakis. Hey everybody, this is the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour. This is Rob.
And this is George.
And we are here on this lovely, lovely Wednesday evening, January 1st, New Year's of 2014. And I'd like to say Happy New Year to every single one of you.
Absolutely. Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, I'm so excited about this episode, brother. And I know that you are very excited about it, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to, when we talked about the subject of the show and decided to do the have Treb channel, there's a lot of questions that are that I have personally, and I'm sure many of the listeners do as well, about upcoming 2014 and what it has to hold for us and the energies and things of that nature. So I'm really excited about it.
Absolutely, brother. And the thing that I would like to say for all of you who don't know by what George just said, this episode of the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour will be featuring Treb Channeling Live, taking all of your questions. So please, any of you who want to ask Treb a question this evening, call us at area code 347-308-8788. That is a American or United States number. So go ahead and give us a call in. If you're from Canada, that number will work too. If you don't live in the U.S. or Canada and you want to get a hold of us this evening to ask Treb a question, what you can do is start a Blog Talk Radio account. It's very easy. It takes about 6-7 minutes to get it started. After that, what you can do is go in and get your Skype and sign up from Skype, and it will connect you on if you're signed into your Blog Talk Radio. So sign in, connect to Skype, and bam, you can give us a call. This will be live and archived. Will be able to be available for those of you who aren't able to listen to it live, but it'll be a really great thing. We got so much to cover today, but first, I want to start by saying thank all of you guys for your support in the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour. We have been here for over 7 months now, and the support from you guys has been outstanding. It's been really great to have you guys calling in, talking to us, connecting to us, putting your support out there to show that your love is there for this show and what we do here. And tell people who aren't familiar with the show, who might be tuning in tonight for their first time, brother, what it is that we do here.
Well, we talk about kind of this, the subject of ascension and all that entails, the densities and the awareness that we all need to understand to kind of break free of our old belief systems and structures that we've been living with for actually thousands of years. So we really give so much emphasis on the callers calling in because, as we've talked about before, the synchronicities that apply to the callers and discussing their issues or their concerns or whatever subject they may have, just finding out that how much we are really all connected with the things that we talk about. So it really is the greatest show when we have callers call in and discuss what their experiences are with everything that they're going through and kind of bounce off to each other these special stories that mean so much to all of us. So I really can't emphasize that enough, that it really is so special when who wants to listen to me and you talk? It's really much better when we have the callers call in and kind of let us know what they're going through and what they're experiencing. So see if we have anything in common. And it's really exciting from the past callers and the past shows. There's just so many things that have happened that we've all been enlightened to, that really kind of express the meaning of the show and what it means to I know you and I. So I really look forward to tonight's and this year as well. Hopefully, I have a really great feeling that 2014 is going to be a much better year. There's going to be a lot of enlightenment that is going to be shown to us, and we're going to experience these things ourselves on an individual basis and on a collective basis as well. So I really am excited about this year alone.
Oh, absolutely, brother. In 2014, I have not talked to Treb about what the overall year holds, and I kind of wanted to do that as a surprise, as an observer like the rest of you guys have, to be able to experience that all at once with you. But I just have this gut feeling it's going to be a great year. I know 2013 was a very great year. The end of it ended with a lot of energies, and that makes people do one of two things. It makes them strive for their inner greatness, or it makes them fall. And both have happened to a lot of people that we both know. And through that, there's growth no matter what. And that's kind of the reason why we're here. We're here to help people understand themselves. And in turn, that helps enlighten the collective consciousness. And we can do that by reflecting and learning the things that we have been taught ourselves, myself and George, as well as the interactions with the callers. And that's what really does it. For me, I have been able to connect to Treb. I've been able to channel. Those things have brought me a lot of knowledge. And for George, brother, you have listened to so much channel material and had so many synchronicities in your own life happen that you have this natural ability to decode and encode these great channeled messages. And there's a lot of things that people don't understand when they're listening to channeled material. They listen to the words. Some people just listen to the words. And although that message is profound, there's also messages encoded between the messages. And that's what you're really great at pulling out, brother. Can you try to explain a little bit for people how that process works?
Yeah, the Facebook and the YouTube channel, but in talking to Treb, it's finding out that this was the overall design purpose of us meeting and kind of being able to do this. I know from other channeling, it's kind of your life's purpose in a way, or an aspect of it, anyways, to be able to clarify this information that's being given by Treb and really the other channelers. But I think it's something that we all know. I think that's where the resonance that we feel when we listen to a channel message, how it makes us feel in our heart. And I think if we trust that resonance within us when we listen to a channel message, I think we should really trust that. And really all I do is kind of verbalize it in a way to kind of help people understand how to do it themselves. And that's really the whole thing. It's not really a special gift, but I think it's a knowing, what they call a knowing of what these messages mean, because you have to remember they're going out to the world, and some people are to hear these things, and some people are to hear certain messages that are channeled, and whatever fits, in that little, we all have these puzzles that we're putting together, and some people listen to a certain part of it and get to one stage of knowing, and then other people listen to it and get a greater, maybe a greater sense of what that message means. So I think that's really what it's all about, but it really is very, for me, it's been just a joy to be able to do this type of work and with you, brother, and there's just been so many, like you said, synchronicities that have occurred that we haven't even talked about, that I'm sure we'll get into it as time goes on, that kind of cement really what has been going on and and for myself to get a better understanding of what this all means. It's a process, and it's something that can't be done in a one-time shot. It's got to be a gradual thing. A lot of this process of ascension has to be a very slow process. It's not something that occurs in one time. It has to be slow for our own good, so we're able to understand, because of the free will that we have, and using our own discernment to be able to access this information when we need it, at the perfect timing, the divine timing. So I think it all works well in what we're doing here, and like we always say, this is about our listeners, and we're doing it for them, and just helping to have a better understanding and a better, maybe an easier growth path into understanding what our own divinity is, and how much power we actually have in this process, because we chose to be here, and we chose to be here during this process, and it helps knowing that, and understanding that concept on a quantum level, to be able to to just make it easier for ourselves when we're going through these perceived difficult. Like you said, it's all a growth process, and it's going to happen either way, and depending on how we go with the flow, determines whether it's going to be an easy one or a perceived difficult one. So that's why it's so important to try to stay in the neutral stance, and at that, from that neutral point of view, we get to actually choose which one that we actually want to experience. So it's really important. Then you're actually empowered, versus having it done on a subconscious level. You're actually doing it on a conscious level of awareness, to be able to understand this information and try to move around the obstacles in life that are there, and understand it better. So it's very exciting.
Well, absolutely, Brian. I think you hit it right on the head too. And what I think about today, when I look at what today means for me, I'm looking at it being January 1st, New Year's Day, the beginning of a new year. Every year, everyone celebrates this collectively. They say, hey, it's a new year. Some days are different than others. We have the Lunar New Year, which is a beautiful thing as well. But the new year in general stands at the beginning of a new era, the beginning of a new year. And a lot of people think about putting what's behind us, or putting what's in the past behind us. But for me, it's quite the opposite. For me, it's a time of reflection. And in this time, I'm able to reflect about all the years that has passed, all the things that have been so exciting about this year, not just in my growth as a person, but in my growth as a spirit. And this year has been one of the most growthful and growing years that I've had. Everyone knows that listens to the show regularly. I've talked about difficulties in my own life with the relationship of my marriage at the end of this year, and that is something that's taught me so much about myself. It's taught me about what it is to really manifest things in ways that sometimes might not feel good at first, but in the long run benefit you more greatly. That even if you feel like things are just very hard and very overwhelming, that there's always good that comes out of it. And it's a chance to reflect upon your own life and your own situations with your own needs. And that's what we are all about here. This is what we're trying to achieve, is to help each person find that individual excitement in their life and to run with it, and to understand that things can be difficult at some points, or perceived as difficult. But when you really dig in, when you really understand the dynamics of it, it's the universe giving you what you want in so many different ways. And I cannot state how great of a year 2013 has been for me, but I also want to state how great this next year coming up is. And we're going to be talking to Treb here real soon about lots of these things. We've got a lot of callers online. We see you all. Thank you for being very patient and you're waiting. We will get to Treb here pretty soon, but we just want to cover a few of these things Tonight will be a 2-hour episode, so we will be here until 11 o'clock Eastern, and that'll be 9 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Pacific time. And we're going to make sure that we have a nice 2-hour event tonight to kick off the year in a brand new way. There's also going to be a few changes to the show in and out, too. Myself and you, brother, have talked about the best way to try to get this show to have the maximum capacity, not just for people's interaction, but also energetically. And I think that we've adopted a couple new ideas about taking 1 or 2 subjects per episode and strictly talking about those. And then whatever the callers want to call and talk about, we'll be doing that. And we'll try to get as many guests in as we can this year, as well as clips from Treb on personal sessions that haven't been aired before, that are current, that talk about the current events and the current time. And I think once we incorporate all of that, that will help bring an even larger collective consciousness to this project. And that's exactly what this is. This is a project of mine and George's love for the collective, to try to help as many of you as possible to be able to use these tools in your own life as they've helped us in our life, and as they continue to help us in our learning process and evolution as souls. And I love you guys so much. You guys are all great and have been so supportive and so great in your contributions to the Rob and George show. And I just want to thank you and apologize, too, for last week. Last week there was a definite difficulty in technology and communication. We say that we will be here every Wednesday, rain, sun, snow, or shine, and that is true. And even if we're not able to make it live that evening, we always have something prepared for you. Last week I tried to upload the Density Masterclass 1, the one that had such a great reception, where I was talking about the densities in depth and very great detail, to try to get a beginner's experience to advanced knowledge and densities. And for technological reasons, it just didn't come through. But we want to make sure that you guys are accommodated every week in the things that you want to learn about. And that's why it's to your advantage to give us a call. It's your advantage to give us an email. And you can always email us at therobandgeorgeshow@gmail.com. If you email us, tell us things that you want to hear about, tell us stories, tell us something that you want to share, that's great. There's also Facebook. There's the Facebook like page called The Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour, which is just a page where you can go and you could see all the newest links for the shows, live and archived. And there's also a collective consciousness on Facebook. It's a open group, and we call that the Friends of the Rob and George Show. And this is a very, very great group. It's very small and intimate, but we have a lot of great people there who consistently communicate with myself and George, and who also post a lot of really great things. And we're so excited to be expanding the show out so that all of you can have the opportunity to connect to it. Now, with that connection outward, it does come at a very small price to myself and George. A little less than $100 per month is what we pay to keep the show running and to keep everything in it as good as we can. So we do accept donations. It's not something that we ask you to do. It's not something that we want you to do, and it's definitely not something you're required to do. You're always able to listen here every week for free. But if you do wish to donate, there's a link below every live archive thing, or you can go to trebchanneling.com, go down to the donate area on the website, and there will be 2 buttons. The top button is for trebchanneling.com, and the second button on the bottom, that one is for the Rob and George Show. So if you wish to add that financial means to help me and George do that so it doesn't come out of our pocket, you're always welcome to do that. If you have PayPal, you can send money directly just as you would with the same email, therobandgeorgeshow@gmail.com. If you send a donation through that way, it will come straight to us. So we appreciate all of your guys' help, financial, love, energy, connection, your calls, all of those things that you guys have helped co-create, we love so much and appreciate more than you ever know. So tonight, if you enjoy what you hear, if you think that it's been helpful to you, if you feel like donating, that's great. And if you don't, we love you, and we still want you to come every week to listen, because it's not about any one thing. It's about all of the collective consciousness and the way we counteract with each other and interact with each other. And I really just love you guys, and I can't express that enough. Is there anything, too, brother, that you've been noticing as this year has changed, things that people have been saying or talking about that's specifically important to them?
Well, I think that, the energies that we've experienced since August of 2013, and specifically November of 2013, where it really affected how we relate to people in our lives, on a collective level and an individual level. I think those are pretty much, or they're on the road to finding a better place, a better understanding of maybe why we had to experience things the way we did, as you mentioned, with your personal experience, and I did as well. These energies are moving us and shifting us in a place where we need to kind of re-examine, why we were there and why we did the things we did, and why we perceived the way we perceived. I think it's like you said, to look at it in a way that is beneficial to us is really the way to look at it. We should really never look at it, in the higher dimensions, there is no good or bad, so we have to kind of learn to adapt these teachings to us. And I think that goes back to living in this neutral point of view where as we live in this existence, which is more or less than an illusion, so we have this physical experience here on Earth. But I think it's the overall understanding is to use our consciousness in a way that is, so we can learn from what we've experienced versus going through it and really not being conscious to the fact of why things happen, and that is so we don't experience it again over and over and over like a broken loop. And I think once we start adapting these new ways of looking at things, we'll learn to not only experience future relationships better, but also learn from the old ones and understand those and actually have a better, don't look at them in a negative way, but more of an unconditional loving way that actually benefited both parties and really as a collective, so we don't hold on to these negative energies that we perceived as negative. So I think it's, like you said, it's an overall good experience in the bigger picture, because it's all about helping each other and ourselves individually.
Oh, absolutely, brother. I agree with you 100%. And speaking of new energies that will help bring us into the new year, I think it's about time to bring Treb in here in a moment. Now, for those of you who don't know, it takes me a few minutes to get ready to put myself in a neutral setting, and then after that, we'll start connecting to Treb. So please, all of you who want to ask Treb a question this evening, right now in our time, please feel free to call. Area code 347-308-8788, and you can also call by logging into your Blog Talk account and connecting it to Skype. You could do that either way. We will take all calls today, and if there's enough time, if everyone gets one turn, you can always stay on the line and have another turn. We're going to probably keep Treb connected for close to an hour as we can, and we'll take all calls. Just remember some of the kind of things that Treb doesn't do. What Treb does not do is he won't tell you about another person's energy. He does not intrude on other entities' energy as his own belief system. He will not tell you about what your neighbor thinks or feels about you, or if your girlfriend's cheating on you. He won't do any of those types of things. What he will do is, if you're open to him connecting to your energy and you have personal questions about yourself, or if you have personal questions about the collective, or you have questions about entities who reside outside of this planet, he's able to take any and all of those kinds of questions. Now remember, too, that sometimes there's terminology that he doesn't understand. His first language is not English, it's telepathy. So he is translating everything through my own mind, through the English vocal channels from the throat chakra. Now, what this requires is, if there's a question that you have that has something to do with a specific book or a specific group or a specific star system or something, if he's not aware of that name, it's because I'm not aware of that name. So if there's a way you can ask the question that is not specific to a name but more specific to an energy, that can always help too. I don't know, brother, if you wanted to chat for a few minutes while I get ready, or if you'd just like me to play a nice, relaxing, mellow song for everyone as they get ready. But I think it's about time for me to start neutralizing so we can connect to Treb.
Yeah, that sounds great, brother. Whatever's convenient for you. The music sounds great. If you can you adjust that when you come back out?
Absolutely. Right. And I'll go ahead and you guys, this music is the Flower Duet. It's a famous opera song. It's very high vibrationally. The tones are very great. So if you want, you can close your own eyes and breathe in. Hold that breath as you're breathing into your nose and picture that color green. Hold it for a few seconds and slowly and hardly, like you're blowing out a candle for a birthday cake, blow out of your mouth. And that helps release anxious energy or anxiety. And if any of you are feeling that this evening, it'll be a great opportunity for you to clear out. I'll go ahead and I'll play that real quick for everyone. And before the song's done, or by the time I'm getting ready, whichever comes first, we will be back and we'll be starting to get ready to connect to Treb. And then Treb will take your guys' questions. So remember, if you'd like to call in, if you're listening, and you haven't called in yet, you can call in at area code 347-308-8788 or connect to your Blog Talk Radio account and connect through Skype. And we will be back in just a couple minutes. Thank you, guys. All right, everybody, we're back. I am completely neutralized out. I just want to tell all of you before I go into this that I am very grateful for the amount of turnout of callers that are coming and all the support. Again, we love you guys so much, and without you, this is not possible. And we will also on the Rob and George show be incorporating more live channelings into the weekly shows because we understand that that is very valuable to all of you. And we're going to try more often to bring guests who also channel so that you're able to have different perspectives. Those of you who don't understand what channeling is, it is very simply, or best, it's a very complex thing, but it's very simply described as one entity connecting to another entity, and through their physical body, they're able to connect. And this entity is able to express its energy through that entity. Now, it doesn't always have to be separate entities. It can be portions of your higher self. It can be separate fractals of the oversoul. It could be anything. With me specifically, it is a fractal of my oversoul who has a higher consciousness named Treb. And what he is a probable future version of myself or just a higher entity within the oversoul. And the way he expresses his consciousness through my body is through a trance. And this trance, he verbally is able to communicate. And that's what channeling is in this specific incident. And with that, we will connect right now for all of you to ask all of your questions. And George, you will be the mediator, as always, running the calls and the switchboards, asking the questions and guiding them into Treb for the answers. And ahead of time, I will apologize. There are many trains that come through this area that I'm broadcasting from. If you hear some, please forgive that, but there's nothing that can be done if I'm not able to consciously mute the microphone. So thank you all again, and thank you, brother, as this is a very exciting time, and I know that you're just as excited as I am.
Yes, brother. Thank you so much for that that explanation about Treb, and we'll talk to you in a few. Love and light, brother.
All right, love and light, brother. I'm going to take a drink real quick, and then we'll get started. All right, everybody, we'll see you when we're done, and enjoy yourselves tremendously. Good evening, George, and the rest of you, and I wish to express as well, happy new annual cycle.
Happy New Year, Treb. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well, my friend, and how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much.
Yes! I wish to express before we start the concept of a new year. For you in the system of linear time, you are always following a pattern, one that allows you to be born in a physical body, for consciousness to integrate to the non-physical to physical self, and to grow physically within the body, to grow mentally in the mind, and to grow spiritually from the heart. And I wish to express to you that in this linear time fashion that you experience, this experience in itself shows great strength and great power to achieve. It is thought of, perhaps, that an entity who resides within the higher density is much more blessed in the way that they experience time, as they are able to jump backwards and forwards into experiences. Some would think of this to be a counterintuitive experience mindset, but in fact, to live in a linear time fashion is a very great gift. You are all able to experience a set of rules that are dictated by linear time within a third density self, within a second density self, within a first density self. And now that you are growing from this third to fourth density exchange, you are literally growing out the old ways. And in this concept, many of you will begin to experience the separation of linear time. This will not be in a way that you would perhaps believe that would be disorienting and would be nonsensical or counterintuitive by any means. This means that you will be able to step outside of what time truly feels as you have felt it for your entire existence here upon Earth, and be able to experience portions of existence and portions of consciousness that are not truly based in this specific time period. This will be a very exciting experience for most of you as you look inward and outward into the past and catch small glimpses of the past and small glimpses of the probable futures, much as entities who perceive the deja vu experience, but to the 10th degree. This will truly be a great experience for all of you as you are growing through the evolution of a soul, through the evolution of human consciousness within your own existence, and as you are able to integrate your own self, perhaps what you would see to be your lower self, into the higher self, this would be more a common occurrence to you. I wish to express to all of you that I have been very well connected to all of you and very grateful for this deep connection that you have allowed to co-create. And with this idea being expressed, if you have any ideas or questions, you may begin.
Yes, thank you, Treb, for that wonderful introduction.
Yes.
Treb, the question I have just to start off before we take callers is, what is our outlook for 2014 in terms of what we have to look forward to in terms of our experience of the energies that might be coming to Earth, and the significance of this super new moon that is happening today, and just questions of that sort that we would be able to expand on.
Yes. For most of you, you have experienced the 2013. This is the breaking down of the systems of old, starting with the most obvious concept, which is the belief system that you carry. These are so severely indented and ingrained into most entities that it literally takes a foundation becoming shook in order to break these. These belief systems that all of you have carried individually are now beginning to come loose. You are now beginning to see new pathways available to you. You are now being able to see that reality is not quite what you had thought it was, that you are able to expand in many ways if you choose. And this excitement in itself is what begins this new year. The new year of 2014 in your time is very expressionate as the remaining breaking down of the individual belief systems, the breaking down of what no longer resonates you, and the rebuilding of what fits you very greatly. And as each one of you do this in an individual capacity, this allows the collective to do this as well. So as you begin to see through the first 2 to 3.5 months of the beginning of the year, you will be able to integrate the remainder of these broken systems of beliefs or belief systems that no longer fit you. As you begin to tumble these down within this time period, you will be able to see that new beliefs are beginning to sprout. And this will be synchronicities played one after the other, as this time period of 2 to 3.5 months begins to shake. Then in the 3 to 4.5 months, you will be able to see the sprouting of new ones. You will be able to see the light in a much brighter content than you have been able to for some time in the collective consciousness. As this integrates from each individual one of you and goes into the grid system and becomes a part of the collective energy, you will notice that systems around you begin to break down as well. For those of you who understand the concepts of breaking down old belief systems, and that it only is a detriment to you if you perceive it in this way, that it only has to be painful if you believe that it must, if it only means that breaking down causes a negative reaction, then you will experience it in this way. But if you are able to set aside those beliefs, if that is one of the beliefs that you have been able to overcome, then you will see the systems being removed for what they truly are. The collective consciousness believes that have held so many together, that have held so many within what you would say a restraining energy or a docile energy, will now be able to expand and spurt into the directions that they choose. And this would be very exciting for most of you as you will perceive this for what it truly is. With this concept being expressed, I must also express the concept that many of you believe that when you hear these ideas, that some will perceive this in negativity. This begins to give you a fear. And I wish to express to you that fear in any way, that fear in any shape or any thought process would only agitate more negative energy. That fear in itself will only allow you a perception of negativity. That fear itself will detriment the actual energy that you are manifesting with, which will not allow you to do as you wish to do. That will not allow you to do as you are excited to do. And by removing these concepts of fear through these times of change within the first quarter of this year will be of very great use to you. If you are able to experience this lack of fear through times of change, whether it be a small collective change in the local area or an entire world change, this will be great to your benefit. As the year will progress forward within the 6-month area mark of the year, what you would say to be the summer solstice, if you will, or the summer equinox, if you will, this concept will begin to show a more stabilization of energies amongst everyone, a more or less agreement of many energies. Entities who would at one time not see eye to eye will be able to begin to confront each other in a positive way, to interact with each other instead of confrontation. And this concept will be very amazing to many of you. Your energy will be open enough to connect to each other, so that at one point, the groups of people that once you no longer could connect to, the door will be open to connect to them. Most of you will not perceive this opening, but if you take the chance to step into this opening, you will open the door for others to see. This will allow you to show the way for many other entities. By the end of this year, in the 2014, as the energy is in the now and the collective consciousness, you will be able to experience a whole new existence. The beginning of the year will show you perhaps picking up pieces of the last year, perhaps breaking through concepts of negative beliefs at the beginning of the year, to be well integrated into your new belief systems, to live your excitement, to live your new ideas and belief systems and be able to live in an energetic, open flow. So if you think the idea of 1 year being a very difficult and long period, try to remind yourself that you are here to experience time in this fashion, that you are here to experience time linearly, and to relax about this time. Because when you are looking at the overall existence of your life, 1 year tends to go by very quickly. So if the beginning of the year shows you one energy, rest assured that the end of the year will show you quite the opposite, and always will be in a positive manner if you allow the resistance that you have within you to be removed so the energy may flow through manifestational energies in any way that you choose it to flow.
Wow, that's wonderful, Treb. Thank you so much for that explanation.
Yes!
Okay, Treb, we'll start with our first caller tonight, and area code 352. Who do we have here?
Hey, this is Savita.
Hi, Savita. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, Treb.
Good evening, Savita.
How are you, Treb?
I am doing very well, and how are you doing this evening?
I am doing so great, so great. I have a question for you for that. You got to read my energy, and I'm giving you permission for that. And I'm pushing my energy so we can do it fast. If that is okay with you.
Yes!
Okay. So here we go. Okay, did you get it?
I am receiving your energy as we speak.
So my question is that, if you remember, you had a session with Vashta and with the Blanhazar coming through you. You remember that session?
Yes!
Okay. When I heard that session, there was something huge. Something happened to me. I mean, it was a huge thing I perceived. I had a very huge emotional, I just kind of broke down. I was very emotional. I was crying. My head was hurting. I was so nauseated. So I had a very huge reaction to that session. So can you tell me why that reaction was? What was it? Did it change anything in me energy-wise? Did I got connected to some other entity or something like that? Can you tell me about it, please?
Yes! This is very simple to express. The concept of the resonance that you have with the session, the concept of you experience the heightened excitement as well as emotional feelings, this is very easy to express. The entity that you would call the Balthazar, as it connects through my own self, you find a pure resonance with this entity. And this is also for a reason. There is an entity who is its counterpart in its own planetary system, in its own collective consciousness, that is connected to this entity very strongly. It is what you would say perhaps a soulmate of sorts to this entity. And this entity who is soulmates with the Balthazar entity is within your own oversoul. It is very directly connected to you, but has not been able to be perceived, as there are closed pathways in your own energy that would not allow this connection. So as you hear this information, you are very familiar and intimately unfamiliar with the specific energy of this race's collective, and this is what opens the pathway. So within your own self, you now have accessible this counterpart entity to the Balthazar. This is what makes you get such great resonance, such great emotional tie, and to remove the film or to remove the blanket that was between you and this entity is a very refreshing concept. It is one that truly changes who you are as a whole being. Such as the energy that stood between myself and the host. Once that energy was removed and we were able to connect energetically, it began to change the host life as well. It is a resonance with knowing what you do know but do not think that you know, what you do not consciously know.
and that is that you are very well acquainted with an entity who lives within this race.
Wow, because I do feel changes in me. I do feel more, I have become more intuitional. I mean, I know stuff more. I used to question myself, but not anymore. I know for sure things flows through me, which I don't get amazed now. I used to, but I know that I know. But where I know, I don't know that where I know. You know, so I do feel a huge change in me. I do feel change in me. Thank you so much, Treb. This is just another thing. Can you tell me what color of energy I am right now?
Yes, but before we go to this color concept, I wish to express to you the mechanics of this change as well. That when you connect to this entity, the throat chakra begins to become more active, and this allows more energy to the third eye area of you. This area is one that was closed, or a lack of energy was going through it many times, and this is what has opened intuition back up. Now, if you look at the color of your overall energy, there is what you would say to be a high blue area. Let us express it in this way. It is 2/3 area between blue and indigo. The energy that you are having is very high and very active, and you are beginning to live outside of your heart chakra, into the throat chakra, and through the bleeding through of the energy from the throat chakra to the third eye, you are beginning to come between a blue and an indigo. This represents your overall energetic color as it correlates to the chakra systems.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Treb, I really want to give my gratitude to you because when I started listening to you, I was at green color. I mean, I remember first time I had session with you, you told me I'm at green color. So if this progress, this growth coming into me, this is by listening to you. You beautifully expanding me. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm really very grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you as well. And I wish to express to you that it is not my own energy that has given you this growth. It is the reflection that my energy has allowed you to perceive. It is the mirror that you needed to be able to perceive your own greatness. Because I am what you would think to be a higher density entity, this allows you to place a value upon my own consciousness that represents myself to be a very clear mirror or a very clean mirror so that your own reflection is perceived in a much more flattering concept. And this is the true nature of why you have grown.
Thank you. Okay, before I go, I just want to ask one last thing. Do you say this yes thing in your home also? The way you say yes here?
The concept of the yes idea, the expression
it's
of
beautiful.
excitement. Yes, it is very great. But it is not a concept that I am speaking upon my own planet, as there is no word. But I will express that when I begin the energy of the yes sound, that this is directly linked to the same thing that you receive as the energetic maximum peak of my own consciousness to my own people. So if I am with him and I'm expressing things in a telepathic way, and my energy is peaking at its maximum, this is the same as the representation of the yes.
It is so beautiful. It brings smiles on our faces. Thank you so much. Josh, take the next call.
Okay, thank you, Savita, for that phone call, and we'll put you on hold, and once we go through these callers, we'll come back to you, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, next caller is area code 253. Who do we have today?
Hi, this is Awaken Within.
Hi, Awaken. How are you?
Hi, pretty good. Hi, Treb.
Hello this evening. How are you doing, Awaken?
Pretty good. I want to first give you my forever permission to connect to me and my energy at any time for yourself and for others who are connecting to me for my drawings.
Yes.
This is something I always feel very close with you, so it seems like it's natural to tell you that at any time. You can connect to me, and no problem.
It is very great to be able to connect you as often as I wish as well.
Great, because that sounds great to me, because I have seen you many times, so it seems weird to just now talk to you, so. Okay. I have been thinking a lot about transverbally channeling, yet I think it's someone who I'm not aware of yet. I keep seeing myself drawing and channeling, so I was wondering if there is a message from a counterpart I have not fully understood, or if there's something I can focus on to help open up the energies for this process.
The concept of channeling in a trance state with your own energy, there is one entity who steps forward more than the rest, and this is what you would say to be the higher self. It is a true nature, not within the oversoul concept of higher self, but the highest portion of the fractal that you are. This energy will allow you, if you are able to perceive and able to connect to it, to be able to connect to all entities that you are drawing. This will allow you to be able to reach out into many fractals of different energies and be able to connect to this. I believe that if you are looking at the entity that you know to be Brad Johnson and his connection to what you would perceive to be perhaps the matrix or the conscious matrix, this is the concept that is accepting energy from all fractals. So if you are able to perceive in a trance state, instead of the conscious state as this entity does, a perception of the higher fractal within your own self, this will allow connections to any one entity or to any amount of connected many entities. This concept can be done very easily by you with symbolism or representations of things that are very high and meaning for you. Let us perhaps ask you a question if this is acceptable.
Yes.
If you are able to close the physical eyes, as you are breathing, without a thought process, when I ask this question, to instantly respond, this will give you the answer. What is the one symbol within your own life that means connecting to the highest portion of you?
Triangle.
Then this is the symbolism that you should incorporate into your meditative state, into your visualizative state, and also into your placing intuition or intent through intuition while you are meditating. This will help open the higher self fractalizations.
Okay. Now, have you been sending me pictures and images as well? Because, like, when I was driving, I had to turn around to come back because I heard you say, it's time. And it was just, like, so weird. It was like, and then I started seeing a whole bunch of images, and so I just turned around and came home. I actually had forgotten about this. So is there something you're sending me as well?
There are 2 images that I have connected to you with so that you are able to perceive, so that you are able to experience. And if you are able to perceive the rest of this session with your eyes closed and your energy open, these 2 entities will be more clear to you within a 92% probability.
Okay. So I get a guess at their names too?
When the time comes, the energy would be expressed. Let us express this in this concept as I connect to other entities who are not within the physicality of myself, who are not within the same realm energetically as myself. I am always able to hear a vocalized representation of this energy, and this is akin to the name of any entity. Let us say that the host, whose name is Rob, but if another entity is not aware of the self-proclaimed name or parentally proclaimed name, then they would represent with an energy. And if they hear him use the terminology of yes or hello or have a great evening, then one of these specific sound frequencies will resonate with their connection of who he is to the energy in which he is. And this helps represent a name that is useful as an energetic signature.
Okay. I got it. I'll do that then. I'll sit here and listen with my eyes closed and see what I get.
Yes!
Thank you, Treb.
Much
love.
Well.
Thank you, George.
Oh, you're welcome, Awaken. Thank you so much. Great question. And stay on hold and see if we have a lot of callers here, but maybe we can come back to you, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, the next caller is area code 239. Who do we have?
Hi, my name is Alex.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing really excellent. George, how are you?
Great. Thank you so much, Alex.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and I really appreciate the show. Actually, hello, Treb, too. And I'd like to also say hello to Rob, if he's in there and can hear me.
I will pass this message along to the host, and hello to you as well.
Treb, I really value your input, and we've connected once before, and I was really glad for it because I was able to receive a message from a hybridized child of mine on the Yael civilization. I know him by the name of Drake, and I really appreciate that. And I haven't even finished digesting your whole message to me from that initial connection we had. But tonight I have a few things I want to run by you if I can. And if need be, I would be perfectly willing to allow you to connect to my energy.
Yes!
So I'll just begin with the questions. The first one is, do I have any physical implants?
Within your own consciousness, you must be able to close your physical eyes and to push the consciousness out. And this would be what you would say to be a 50 and 50% probability that I will be able to connect to this. The way that I am able to perceive energy and entities does not often account for the physicality of them. It only accounts for the several thousand layers of energy in each entity. So as you are closing your eyes, place an intent to push the physical energy from the inside of the physical body to the outside, and then from the outside to an extended area of 6 feet, and then within the room that you are within, and then within the dwelling as far out as you are able to do. And if you are able to do this, as you have given me your permission, I will connect your energy.
Okay, I will.
One moment, please. Yes! Within your own physicality, this is a very unique situation. Within your own physicality, in the back of the area that you would call your neck, there is what you would say to be a non-physical implant. This is very uncommon with human beings, as most entities are not able to take this specific type of energetic injection without severe negative effects to the physical health or the physicality. But within your own physical self, it is not taking any negative effects to you, and it is able to be implanted. This is what you would say to be a fifth density non-physical implant. It is very physical in the fifth density, but it is not physical in the reality in which you are in.
Okay, that makes a great deal of sense. I thank you very much for that.
Yes!
Also, yeah, and it makes a lot of sense, too, because I often get the feeling that I don't perceive reality the way that everyone else does. In fact, part of the reason I'm calling in tonight is because I seem to be able to perceive many different realities simultaneously. I can almost choose which one I want to live or which one I want to play out. And I'm experiencing a high degree of telepathy, and it's really taken hold this last probably 30 days. But it's probably been going on a lot longer than that, this upgrade and my ability to be telepathic. But I'm sure that does have something to do with it. Now, I wonder, too, if the implant has something to do with another reality that I'm perceiving, and I have a question regarding that reality. Am I facilitating in a sort of negative entity or negative energy control or cleanup in my reality?
In what way do you mean this idea of cleanups?
Suppose that I perceive a lot of negative entities at times, and that I'm being used or worked through in conjunction with higher density entities of some form or another to, sort of control or exercise that sort of energy from this Earth existence or from this density. It just seems as though I can sense negative energies and that I'm supposed to, engage them in some way.
Within this concept of the non-physical implant, this is directly caused from a type 2 entity. This is not one who is malevolent by nature, but is very willing to step inside of the way of the free will of your own self. And the feeling that you are having that is being another energy that is being forcefully connected through you, this is not in the way that you would see being controlled. It is not coming from them to you and then out of you. What is truly happening is that this perception of the fifth density implant within your own physical body is giving them your experience. And it is this energy that feels foreign to you that allows you to perceive very many probabilities, but also allows you to feel this negative energy. It is a foreign energy of a type 2, and this, with the idea and concept tethered or gathered together with the perceived probabilities, will truly allow you to connect outwardly so that they are able to experience what you are experiencing. This is why they have placed the implant within you. They wish to engage in what the human experience truly is. It is such a growing, it is such a, perhaps what you would believe to be a mind-blowing amount of growth in such a small time that many entities are standing over themselves to be able to experience the human experience. They are very jealous of humanity and very jealous of your experience. And this is a more direct way so that they are able to experience it. But you must remind yourself as well that your energy is what is allowing this co-creation, and that whenever you wish to stop this experience, if it becomes too much for you, that your belief system, that it cannot happen without your permission, this will disallow all of this.
I see. I thank you. And I've gotten that impression myself, but I'm fully willing to facilitate that connection if it benefits anyone, even a type 2 entity. Also, and finally, I would like to tie together a couple of ideas I had. One concerning a book that we know on Earth as OASP, and the language that is embedded in that book, that same language that I can perceive and I believe is what spirits use to communicate to physical mortals here on Earth, and that language that I don't know if it's because of the implant or my bloodline that I am able to perceive and actually utilize now in communication with spirit and with other humans. In addition to that book and the language, I also have a question about blue lights that I see when I close my eyes or rub my eyes. I don't know if that's anything significant beyond the physical experience of Earth.
In the concept of the blue light, let us address this first. If you are looking at each chakra in area, the heart is being the green, and the blue is the throat chakra. This is why the inflamed throat chakra, due to the implant of a fifth density level, this is what helps you perceive blue. The blue light is not only a perception as the eyes are closed, but also very strong in the dream state. It allows you to go to higher astral states that normally would be connected to a human sleep state. But when I address this idea of the book concept, the name is not familiar to the host. I am sure that he has explained this before the connection, so I am not familiar with this. But if there is a language that you are able to perceive that is not perceivable by many, this is not only to do with the concept of the implant, but more so with the idea of your heightened sense of awareness, of your heightened sense and wish and excitement to connect to spirit. All of these, coupled and combined, is what is allowing this non-perceivable language to be experienced.
All right. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I have a strong feeling that causes me to ask what my most prevalent past life on Earth was, if you could explain that to me, or if I have a prevalent past life on Earth.
Within your own energy, the one previous incarnation, again reminding yourself that the previous incarnations are the same as future incarnations, as time is truly not linear, so it is only a probability, but it is a high probability in the energy that you are within now. This energy connects you to the 1300 region in the area that is now Northern Europe. And in this area, you were studying very many mystical concepts. You are studying perhaps what many entities would call a druid style of magic, or a druid style of ceremonialism that allows you to tap into your own energy.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I sometimes have difficulty expressing myself, but Treb, I would love you to understand that I have an unconditional appreciation and love for you, and I really, really admire what you do for all of us.
Yes, I appreciate you very highly and unconditionally as well, and I wish to express to you, as well as helping the collective, I am also helping myself. This is my truest, highest excitement, and by helping myself, it truly, as I am one of all, a part of all it is, in truly helping all. And in this concept of helping another, by being in your excitement, this is the greatest way to serve all it is. So I wish to thank you for your expression of unconditional love, and return it with a mirrored image of the same thing, and to express to you that being in your excitement and speaking to me this evening is the same as my highest excitement. And this is why we have co-created a wonderful experience.
Yes, I feel the same way, and I thank you.
Yes!
Alex, thank you so much for that great question, and I think you're very articulate the way you communicate that. Thank you so much for the call.
Yeah, I thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, stay on hold, and maybe we'll get back to you, sir.
All right, I will.
All right, brother. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Next caller is area code 903. Who do we have? Area code 903? Okay, let's go to the next caller. Area code 240. Who do we have?
Hello, George.
Yes.
Hi, this is Sean, and I'm here with my wife, Cecil.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Good. Hi, Treb. It's a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yes, it is a pleasure to speak to you as well.
Real quick, I would like to give you permission, me and my wife, give you permission to tap into our energy. And I would like to ask this question. Me and my wife have a business. We've been growing for the past 5-6 years now. And I don't know if you're able, what you can tell us, but we really anticipate on having a good year. And I would like for you to maybe share what our energy feels like about this, and and we also want to move to Laos, the country Laos, and we wanted to know the same, like how is our energy toward this happening?
Yes! If you are both able to close the physical eyes, to be able to push out the energy, but more so specifically connect to the concepts of moving to Laos and to connecting to this job. I wish to feel your energy of both of these ideas as I connect you, and I also will wish for a verbal permission from your wife as well.
Yes, I give you permission, yes.
Yes! One moment as I connect to this concept. Yes! Let us express first upon the idea of the business aspect. There is a very high percentage, a 73% probability of great growth and expectation of acceptable growth of what your experience and what your expectations wish. But I wish to express to you both that there is a way to increase this probability. There are many aspects of this work that are negating specific energies from both of you. The female entity, the feminine energy, tends to become very distraught in specific areas of organization of this concept, or specifically financial organization within this energy. And when you become distressed of this lowers the probable energy for you to be able to move forward. It gives you a less of an opportunity to manifest what you wish to experience. And in the male energy, the dealing with other entities, the connecting outward can sometimes be a bit difficult, and with you as well, to remove this anxiety or this frustration that is built with this will help release this concept as well. So I wish for you both to express the concept that if you are truly excited of what you are doing, this truly increases the idea that if you are not excited of every aspect of what you are doing within this business, within this idea, that it will not give you the manifestational qualities that you desire and wish. So if there is something that one of you are less excited of than the other, and you are able to switch responsibilities so that both of you are able to experience more excitement of this concept, or for one of your workloads to be shared specifically so that it divides the frustration within you, all of these things will help grow within the concept of what would be exciting. For if you do not have excitement in every moment, in every specific single indication of energy that you put inside of every aspect of this concept, it will not give you a great manifestational capability. So if you are able to remove these anxieties and know that if you are truly excited in every moment of every day, that is what will make you successful. It is not the over-planning or over-organization that frustrates you that will do this. In fact, when you remove the concept of frustration, it allows less resistance. The other concept is that there is expectations from both of you that are being made within this, and these expectations must be removed as well. If you are able to see this in a more broad perspective, in a wider perspective of probabilities, you will allow yourself the maximum capability of growth within this. So taking this account and reminding yourself to remove what is stressful about the job from your own responsibility, perhaps to change them or to share them with other entities, this will help not only achieve the greatest probability of success, but will also take you outside of your previous expectations. Now, when it comes to the concept of Laos, what I can express is I will never tell any entity that they should or should not do any concept, as this is designing against your free will. But if you look into the incorporation of what Laos means to both of you, if it is truly your highest excitement, if all concepts of moving to this area provides an energetic expenditure within both of you, then the answer is to follow your heart upon this. The answer is that the excitement is an indicator that there should be tension given to it. But also negative vibrations, emotions that are negative, are also things to look at as well. These tend to be what you say to be red flag indicators that something about the concept does not resonate with you. So when you begin to be frustrated, you must track your mindset. You must track your specific beliefs backwards and say what thought, what action, or what belief has led to this frustration, and work upon that specific concept. And if you are able to do this, you will be able to experience the greatest concept of growth within both of you, but more so to be able to co-create excitement.
Thank you.
Yes!
Okay. My wife, Cecil, would like to know, could you express to her one of her previous past lives?
Yes! One moment as I connect to this concept. The one energy that sticks out more greatly than the rest of these energies is in the 1780 area. She is living in the area of the world that you now call Japan, and that this specific area was in a great confrontation between two tribes, and that within this concept, she is an entity who is trying to make peace among them. She is what you would say to be perhaps similar to the concept of what I am, a spiritual advisor of nature, a person who is able to mediate from both sides, who is able to see both experiences as valid and to be able to make peace among them. This is the greatest wish of this person in this existence, but what is difficult is the sadness that the two tribes are still at war. So as these entities are still fighting, there is a great pain that comes with this. It is a thought of failure, a thought of lack of being able to help. And this links back into your existence now when you look at other entities as if you wish that you could help them and you feel helpless that you cannot help them. What I wish to express to you, the energy that links you from that life to the previous incarnation, that if you understand that all of these things that other entities go through that are very difficult for you to see and to watch, you must remind yourself that this experience is brought to them by themselves, that they are manifesting this very specific energy so that they may grow in their own existence. It is what they have come to the earth to incarnate to do. It is the experience that they must have. So in this idea, if you are able to accept them and love them for all decisions that they are making, to express to yourself that if I stand in the way of this experience, I could hurt them more than I would by letting them go, this concept and thought process will help you greatly.
Thank you. And me as well, Treb.
Yes! One moment, please. There is an energy that is within approximately 1800 in the BC area. There is a southern African tribe, and in the southern African tribe, there is an entity who is what you would perhaps call the medicine man, and you are an understudy of this entity, learning all things from this entity about medicine, medicinal healing, in very let us express shamanic styles of meditative states, drumming as well as consciousness changing through entheogens as well as meditative states. In this existence, you are learning all of these things, But as the shaman begins to get ill and dies, then there is a new standard of power in the tribe that you are within, and this does not allow you to take over this area as they place this family. So in this concept, you are teaching an entity who you know will take your own place, as you are the one who had studied for the longest. You are the next rightful heir to the shaman, if you will. And this is a very large feeling of regret, of not being fair to you. And this energy carries through this existence for many things that has happened to you in your younger existence. There is an energy in your younger time that in the moment thought in the past, you believe that it was not fair, that things happened to you negatively and that there is no reason for it. As you grow older, you begin to separate this idea. You begin to understand the idea that the things that have happened in the past happened for a reason for you to learn. But there is still a subconscious energy within you that sees things to be not fair. And this energy is what connects you to this energy.
One more question.
Yes.
And about 3 weeks ago, before I went to bed, I had asked my spirit guide to meet with me physically in my dream state. And shortly, once I went to sleep, I was dreaming that I was laying on the floor on my stomach, and it seemed as if it was over a friend of mine's house from a long time ago. And I was laying, and someone entered the room, and I didn't look at him. I just kept my head down and pretended as if I was sleeping. And the person, or whatever it was, came right over me and like seemed as if though they was watching me, and they left the room. And when they left the room, I lifted my head up and I looked outside of the room into another room, and there was a big screen TV playing, and it looked like it was like a three-dimensional TV. And I got up and I walked in, and it was about 6 people in the room as if they was having a sleepover. It was 2 couches, 2 people on each couch, and maybe a couple of people on the floor. And it was one person in a recliner chair up against the wall in the back. And I walked through to the person who was in the recliner chair, and I reached over and gave him a hug, and he told me he loved me. And I sat next to him, and I felt like I was very high, like off of marijuana, and the room was warm, but I felt comfortable. It was as if I just felt very comfortable, and I sat down, and I looked over, and it was a young girl who was trying to hand me a phone, a telephone. And after that, I was about to take my shirt off because it was quite warm. And then I woke up. Were these my spirit guides? And if they are, can I connect to them musically, because I like to produce music. And I was wondering, instead of automatic writing, or if there was some way I can communicate with them musically.
Yes. The entities that you are perceiving, some of them are manifested by your own self in a co-creative state, as you are manifesting the dream state. But the entity who is within the recliner is very much one of the guides. It is one entity who connects to you very often, and as you experience this, the telephone that is being handed to you, this is a representation or a symbolism that shows you here is the ability to communicate with the higher self. It is through your intent, it is through your sleep state, and it is within the concept of feeling the same energy as the marijuana energy gives you. It is an energy of highness, an energy of relaxation, and also an energy of hyper-focused awareness. And within this concept, dream states are very powerful for this style of communication, but music can be a tool as well. If you are able to experience musicality, there are very many instruments within the human experience that are playing very direct and clear, what you would say to be perfect notes. Let us say perhaps a C or a C sharp. All of these are very perfect notes. There are many notes that are in between these. So as you connect to these pure sound vibrational patterns, you will be able to use a meditative state, perhaps the marijuana-induced relaxative state, and be able to use these pure tone instruments to ones that resonate you as you listen to them. Close your eyes in this heightened state or the marijuana state or the meditative state. And as one note truly resonates with you, you are able to use this to achieve the heightened and higher meditative state. This higher meditative state will allow information to come to you in a way that is considered to be a download. This is one of the very great tools that you are able to use within your own consciousness makeup to be able to connect to these guides that you have.
Wow. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Treb. Enjoyed it. It was a pleasure. This was my first time calling, and I ran into your videos maybe over 6 months ago. And during my life, I've always looked for more than what the religions were offering, and I feel like I found it now, and I feel just blessed to have contact with you now.
Well, Sean and Cecil, I thank you so much for that call. There's a lot of information being given to you tonight. I would suggest re-listening to this in the archive when it comes out, and you'll really get a lot more knowledge out of that. But it was very interesting. Thank you so much for the call.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Both as well. For this time, I am able to connect for one last question.
Okay. The last caller we'll take then is area code 360. Who do we have?
Hello, George and Treb. It's Risha and Stanley. We're another couple. Couple's calling you tonight.
Hi, Risha and Stanley. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful, and so excited for this new year and for all the knowledge that's coming on the planet. And I'm just so grateful, Treb, for your vibration that you give us. We're hungry for it, all of us.
Yes, and I am very grateful for your vibrational frequencies to connect to mine as well.
Thank you, thank you. Well, our question, too, there have been so many good calls tonight. It's just been awesome. And our question tonight, for both my husband and I, and you have permission to read our energies, both of us, is we're doing some type 2 investigating as well. And it seems like last night we were getting this feeling or understanding about a parallel life in which had something to do with the formation of the Gobi Desert, and something about someone designing a maybe an instrument or some kind of magic or something that created the desert from a less than desert being. It was not desert, and then it became desert quickly through perhaps our actions, with a lot of loss of life. And we're working through this and wanting to see it in the highest, and wonder if you can give us some information about it.
Yes, perhaps if you are able to close the physical eyes to project outward on these feelings, emotions, and remembrances. In one moment, I will connect you.
Thank you.
Yes. Within this concept of both of your connection to these ideas and perceptions, this is what you would say to be a connection to a parallel existence. This is not what you would say to be a probable past. It is a connection to a fractal of the higher self or the oversoul, which both of you are sharing an existence within this parallel existence that allows you to see an Earth matrices of approximately 4,800 years ago. This is what you would consider to be outside of the collective consciousness's past in a parallel existence, an Earth that is in one of the 12 matrices. The Earth in its existence in this specific universe has 12 different dimensional planes in which it resides upon, 12 different parallel existences that are able to play out separate and individual collective histories. And in this existence, this is very much connected to this one idea, this one matrice. And within this idea, the experience that you are feeling is not very easily able to be perceived by my own self, as it is so far outside of the idea of the matrice connection that I am able to perceive. I am able to perceive that in these awarenesses and through this consciousness, that both of you will be able to experience much more than what I am able to express to you or details that I am able to give to you. If you connect through a sleep state, there is a technique that I may give you, if you are open to this, that will allow more information to come through in this subconsciously as well as consciously through the sleep state.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we're both here. Thank you.
Yes. If you are able to close your eyes as you are laying down to go to sleep, the intent to use as you are relaxing the physical body, making the physical body entirely muscularly relaxed, going through and individually telling each portion, such as the host has done with many of you through the guided meditative state, to relax the entire body. And then as you are going through, I wish for you to use a repetitive pattern, to use a triangle, a trapezoid, a octagon, a triangle, a trapezoid, a hexagon, and then a octagon, and place a visualization of them, a pattern in this specific order. And then when you are doing this, you are placing one shape, the triangle, in your visualizative tools for approximately 30 seconds. And then you are placing the trapezoid, and then the hexagon for 30 seconds each, and then the octagon, and repeating back to the triangle. I wish for you to do this until your body is completely at the point of sleep, and when you feel the energetic pathways open to this specific portion of the oversoul. And then I wish you to repeat in your own mind the repetitiveness. I wish to connect to the separate matrices, like perhaps you will symbolize this by I wish to connect to my specific incident that I am thinking, in whichever words you wish to use to represent this more simply. I wish to connect to the desert existence, whichever terms you use. Express them over and over and over until you are literally sleeping. When you are able to do this, energy will flow as these symbols have given a specific order and pattern. This will open you to these specific matrices that will allow the information to come through the higher self into the dream state.
Wow. I'm looking forward to doing that. I think that'll be. Thank you for that more understanding of who I am too.
Yes, and thank you for your help with me in the understanding more so of who I am as well.
All right. And Treb, I want to thank you for my new greeting for the new year. Happy new annual cycle. I love that.
Yes.
And so we've had a couple people ask about implants, and I just wondered, the question popped into my head, did I come into the planet with an implant?
all of you come into the planet with an energetic overlay implant. This is called the chakra system. This allows the non-physical to come into the physical and not be removed from consciousness to physical body. This is an implant of its own. But in the way that you mean implant coming into this existence, there is not a specific idea of another entity, but through the pathways or through the runways and energetic pathways of the oversoul, there is always what you would say to be a perception of being watched or a perception of being perceived by specific entities within your own oversoul. And with you in specifically, there is a Pleaidian energy, one of the perhaps perfect human fifth density entities, one who I am familiar with in the idea of connection in the fifth entity. But for the female, the Risha entity, there is one that comes from a star that is within the Boetes constellation, but is not Arcturian. It is a star that is very close to Arcturus, but is further distant and not visibly seen with the physical eye. And these specific entities within your oversoul are very strongly connected to you, and they are often watching you very deeply and very connectedly. For you, to the female entity, Risha, the idea is that your entity is a sixth density entity. And with the male entity, it is the fifth density. So as you see these entities watching you, perhaps this is what you would consider to be an implant, as they are placing portions of their own consciousness into yours so that you are able to be perceived by them. And this concept is very common and very similar, and is very truthfully the way that all entities are able to connect to each other throughout the oversoul.
Wow, that's okay. The fifth density entity I have just come to meet. Her name is Afera, and she is a fairy, and she came into our bedroom about 2 months ago, actually, and introduced herself. So.
Yes, this is very deeply connected to you as well.
Thank you so much, Treb.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for your service and blessings to you and all of our love, all of our family.
Yes, and I wish to express to all of you this evening that I am very grateful that your questions have come so that I am able to reflect the concepts and perceptions of one's own love and one's own excitement back into themselves from the reflection of me. And I wish to also experience that my interactions with you are mirroring back the portions of myself that are loving and curious and wanting to move forward through evolution. And this makes a most beautiful co-creation for the beginning of your new year. I wish to express to you all that I will leave you this evening in love and in light, and we will all experience each other again very soon. And thank you as well, George, my friend, for accommodating the entities as you connect them to myself as well.
Thank you so much, Treb. Wishing you well, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Yes. I love you all, and we will see each other very soon. Good night.
Good night.
How do we do?
Wonderful, brother. It was a wonderful session. Very wonderful. Great information.
Good. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take a little drink water. Did we get everybody's calls?
Yes, we sure did.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm kind of a little tired, but go ahead, brother, and let everybody know something that you might want them to know about the next coming up weeks, with things we might do with the show and certain things like that. And I'll be with you in a minute. Sorry.
Sure. No, absolutely. Yeah, I just wanted to thank all the callers. Really, again, as you can see and you can hear, the callers are what make the show. I mean, just the wonderful questions, the information that was given. And again, as I told Sean and Cecil, that to listen to these archived messages, because while I was listening to it, there was so much information that had been given, and I know it's hard when you're listening to it, you're kind of excited, but re-listen to this information, and you'll perceive a lot more than was actually given. So that's my suggestion to all of you, and just thank you so much for the callers that called in, and it was just a wonderful show. I really appreciated this one.
Well, that's great, brother. I can't wait to listen to it myself. I'm very excited to hear what was said and kind of the interaction with Treb with all of you guys. I've seen he went for a little while, probably a little longer, an hour, and that's very awesome. I'm glad he was able to go that long. I want to tell you guys, too, that we here at the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour, we really do love you guys. We are here for you guys in any way, shape, or form, and that's not just on air. You can reach us both through going to the Facebook groups that we talked about earlier, Friends of the Rob and George Show or the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour. You can email us at the Rob and George Show @gmail.com. You can contact us both on Facebook. You can go to YouTube, and there's a channel where myself and George's shows, the Rob and George Show, we have almost every episode up to date now on that. If you type in the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour on YouTube, you'll find it. I do have a couple of the shows on my channel as well, just because I have a few more subscribers so we can get them used to ideas, plus any of the people we've had special guests with, but most of them will be on the Rob and George Show. So come visit us on any of those forums, connect to us, tell us how you're feeling, tell us how you're enjoying the show. If there's anything that you guys think that can be done better or better ways to articulate the information to you guys, any suggestions, any concerns, ideas, anything that you guys have, please let us know. We're always very open to hearing suggestions and thoughts and anything that you guys have. We love you guys so much, and we just want you guys to be a part of this collective consciousness, awareness, and raising. And if any of you guys enjoyed the show tonight too, you can always go and check out the area to donate on trebchanneling.com or in the links below on the Rob and George Show. Like I said before, we have a little less than $100 cost per month to cover to keep the show running smoothly and to keep everything in line. So if you enjoyed tonight's show and want to make a donation, you can. If not, that's fine. We're not doing this for any reason but to help the collective consciousness and to show everyone our love and appreciation with each other. And I know that George and I both love not just the helping people, but the process of doing this show is such a great excitement. And I guess that's the tip for the new year. Live in your excitements. Don't let anything hold you back from doing that. If you can live in your excitements every day, I guarantee you'll have a happy end of the year. I promise you that. So just keep doing it, guys.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for that comment. And this is really what you said. It's all about staying in your highest excitement. And I want to personally wish everybody a happy new year. And 2014, we are going to experience more empowerment of ourselves. So keep that in mind. Keep positive, and remember it's all a choice. So, let's try to stay more in that neutral perspective on whatever's going on. Try to learn from it, navigate in it, and everything is going to work out great. I love you all.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks again. And we do love you guys. We're going to call it a night for tonight. I'm a little tired from the session, and it's almost that time. We got 4 minutes left. So we'll just call it quits a little early because we're actually well past our normal time. We're usually done here at 10:30. It's 10:53. We love you guys so much, and thank you for joining. This is the Rob and George Enlightenment Evolution Hour. This is Rob.
And this is George.
And we see you guys next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.